Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jerry from Jerry's Garden with this week video, and today we will be talking about the houseplants and the mental health and how houseplants can actually help us in this sort of way. Thank you very much to all my subscribers, a new one, old one. I really appreciate your support. And if you're new to my channel, if you like my videos, don't forget to click subscribe, that little bell, and give me a like as well if you wanted to. What we're talking about today, it will be for some people maybe a little bit heavy topic, but it's very personal to me as well, and it is the mental health and how plants can actually help us with mental health, but also how plants can induce the anxiety, stress, and everything about it. Just to let you know, on beginning of this video, everything what I will be discussing here today is my own experience, my sort of own vision, and I'm not telling you what to do, but I think it's important to actually talk about the mental health and different ways how we can help ourselves in these times, in the lockdowns and the COVID-19 and so on. Okay, the inspiration for today's video I actually got from the recent book I was listened on Audible. Anyway, I'm not sponsored for this video by Audible or by authors I will be mentioning in this video, but this book really spoke to me and helped me to bring my mind back to actually my journey when I started with plants. The book what inspired me and what actually brought my mind back on the beginning of my journey and why I get into the plants is by one of the very well-known persons and environmentalists and a houseplant collector, and her name is Summer Rain Oaks, and the book I'm talking about is How to Make a Plant Love You, which is, if you haven't heard of this book, I would really recommend to have a look. You can order them on Amazon in the paper version for your Kindle, but also on Audible as well. Okay, on the beginning, just like quickly talk about nature, which is all around us, and I believe that plants actually help us to connect with the nature, bring little bit of nature home, and and make us happy. That's what should be like. Also, there is some responsibilities connected to this, and that's because the plants are living things. They breathe, they eat, they grow, they produce in themselves, and that's like a living organism. Okay, and that's very important. I want to tell you on the beginning of this video that this is living thing is something you have responsibility towards. Well, COVID-19 pandemic and lockdowns and different sorts of restrictions brought many people to join the plant community, and I think it's absolutely fabulous and fantastic, and loads of these people will turn to plants for different reasons. I'm not gonna discuss what the different reasons are, because each of us got a different reason to turn to houseplants or the gardening, and I would say plants can really encourage you to get out of the bed, do your chores and do really things that you would not normally do in the lockdown for perhaps, and take you away from the stimulants like social media, television, and so on, and you really start the journey when you actually I would say you realize that you live in present moment. This is bring me to my beginning of the journey when I started, and I know for some people may talking about this is not easy or don't want to talk about this, and that's absolutely fine. However, I will encourage you, every single person who watch this video and can relate to me talk about it, talk to people, you can talk to strangers, and that's very beneficial. But about over 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and moderate depression, and that really take a hit on my personal life and my everyday living. And you know, I wasn't in the one point I wasn't in a very good place. I couldn't go out, I wanted to stay home, I was anxious from everything, every single point I used to, and I still love traveling. But when I was in that situation, the airport, I love airplanes, I'm plane enthusiast. Airport sort of experience is something I always look forward to. But in that time, it was something I couldn't bear. I have to sedate myself with different types of medications. It was free from the pharmacy, prescribed medication, to actually go through the process, to go to the airport, go through the airport procedures, go on the plane. However, once we reached the final destination, I was fine, but like automatically I start thinking about the return journey, and that was straight on the beginning of the holidays or visits or whatever, which that's what really connected to the anxiety and depression. And you don't live in the present moment, but your brain is already ahead, and that's what caused the anxiety, because you're thinking about something what is far away, but you feel like it's already impacting you in this time. I would say it is not nice to live in this sort of the stress, and obviously if you suffer from any of the mental health issue, you know what sort of impact doesn't have on you, on your body, on your mind. And for me it was the journey. I'm actually grateful now I actually went through it, and it was because I met different people. I discovered the different interests, different ways how to help myself, and I have to say here that I was on the antidepressants for only about 6 months, which is the shortest sort of course of antidepressants you can have. And the reason why is that because I never believed in the antidepressants and medicate yourself, which I will tell you about my experience about the antidepressants very shortly. Well, I never gonna ever forget my first day on antidepressants when you take the first tablet, and I felt my brain is basically like my head is hollow, my brain is moving around, like I was like what the hell is going on around me, and I immediately didn't like it. However, I took them because I was told that it could help, that it can suppress this anxiety and depression and get me through day-to-day life. However, I also discovered one thing which I'm gonna talk now, and that's a counselling, which is very beneficial. And the counselling brought me to the point where was mindfulness introduced to me as a way to deal with the anxiety, to learn how to control anxiety, how to basically pinpoint different triggers, and how to prevent some sort of panic attack or any like depressive situation when you don't want to get out from the bed. And that was really learning curve and a great help, and now it's bringing me to the plants and the mindfulness and all this sort of process I did. If you don't know if it's mindfulness, I believe loads of you already know, because it's the topic now very popular. And what it is basically like very similar to cognitive behavior therapy, when you learned about your thought processes. There is few books on the market. I would maybe recommend you to have a look if you're not sure if you want mindfulness, or if you feel many people feel like mindfulness is some sort of meditation, sitting with the crossed legs with fingers like that doing hum hum hum, but it isn't. You can practice mindfulness on a daily basis everywhere you go. And what does it teach you? It's to think about yourself, about your body, about your physiological processes, and recognize the triggers that really start pumping that stress hormone cortisol around your body and get you into the panic state or anxious state, or trigger some depressive behavior. The books I want to show you is just a couple of them. Again, I'm not sponsored for this, and the one is the Mindfulness for the Beginners, and this is by Gabriel Shaw. And as you can see on the picture here, it's already connecting you to the nature. And another book is the How to Be Mindful, which is by Anna Burns, and that teaches you about different subjects, how you can practice mindfulness. But because I was always like a person who likes gardening, who likes growing plants, I used as my mindfulness exercise the gardening outside in my garden, but also houseplants. And if you don't know what mindfulness stands for, it's basically living in the present moment. And that's when you actually concentrate and you recognize, when you look at your plants, you water them, you check for the pest, you in that moment, you concentrate on that task. Your brain doesn't work miles ahead, like, oh my god, I'm just gonna check it, or next I'm gonna do washing. Absolutely not. You concentrate on that task. And that brings me now to collecting plants. Well, if you stay with me until now, that's brilliant, and I thank you very much for that, because this is sometimes topic people don't want to hear about, or topic they just trying to avoid for various reasons. And now it's bring me to collecting plants. Have a mindfulness exercise like houseplants, care for them, connect with that nature, have responsibility towards them, because sometimes what I don't like to see people does, like, oh, this is the my plant I just fell out of love, I'm just gonna kick it into the corner and let it die. I would say, like, here actually ask you questions. Would you do that with any of your house pets or any other living organism? I found it kind of harsh if people let plants die because they don't like them. And that's sort of what I want to bring across here, that if you've got the plants, enjoy it, enjoy the growth, enjoy evolution of the plants. And now on the social media, which we all part of, especially in the lockdowns, is different sort of plants which are more expensive, less expensive, but they fashionable and they trendy. But I want to just point it out here that trend is something what we as a human beings actually set for ourselves. Trend doesn't come out from nature when this Australis Lisa decided, like, oh, I want to be most popular plant on the Instagram now, and everybody will buy me. What we doing is our decision as human beings. We set ourselves some living standards, and we challenge ourselves and comparing ourselves, but comparing in the way I would say, like, when it's more materialistic way. And I don't think plants should be used as a materialistic sort of a status. Oh, I've got this plant, oh my god, look at me. Absolutely not, because that's not healthy, that's not right for the people. And especially I'm talking now about very, very expensive plants, when people buying plants for thousands of pounds just because it's one of the plants which is hot on the Instagram, on social media. But then you need to remember, if you get this plant home, what does it cause you? Does it cause you pleasure? I would say for me it will be from 90% anxiety. because I paid so much money for that plant and now I need to keep that plant growing, which is great to keep it going, but I don't think it's healthy in the way when you stress yourself to actually you buying the plant that cause you anxiety, cause you stress, and then you want to grow it because it's plant, it's living organism, can get virus, can get bacterial infection, can get pest, can die. And when that plant die, you will be it will take you into some sort of bad place. And that brings me to the sort of point that if you collecting plants, you plant collector, fantastic, you've got the passion for plants, you love them, and you don't take chores like watering, feeding, repotting, cutting as a sort of a work to do. You're doing that because you're excited, you want to, you mindful and do mindful exercises even without noticing it, to the point like you really like it and you enjoying it. However, if you're not plant collector and you start your plant journey as a hobby, you need to remember one thing: more plants is more responsibility. It's more plants to water, more plants to look after. Then they're becoming another sort of anxiety and stress. What about once we can travel again? If you go on the holiday, what you gonna do about the plants? Have you got some person responsible who knows how to care for them? Or you will go on the holiday and again your brain will be miles and miles ahead, because once you hit that ground, you start enjoying the holiday, you will be thinking, oh, what is the weather in UK? Is it too hot, too cold? Are they gonna be alright? And so on, which collect the plants, that's fine, but before you do that, think about how much care and how much time you want to spend on them, because if you do that and you get up in the morning and you will be stressed just because you need to water all your plants, and then you've got the report, and then you've got the plant mail coming, that's not enjoyable, that's not healthy. And now it's bring me to different like sort of mindfulness exercises you may gonna be interested in. But as you know, part of the mindfulness, part of it is also meditation. But meditation, it doesn't mean sit in the quiet room and listen like guided meditation. You can do different types of meditation. One of them is walking meditation. When you get that watering can, fill it up, put the plant food in it and walk around your plant and spend the time with that plant. When you check how is it growing and how leaves looks like, and put the water in and move to another plant. Next type of meditation you can do with plants, you can concentrate, and you can really, when you feel you're getting anxious and that sort of feeling inside, you can just sit, pick one of the plant that's speak to you the most, put her on your yoga mat or whatever, where sit and look at that plant and appreciate that beauty of that plant and the growth point, and think what makes you happy about that plant, to bring your mind into this present moment that you sitting here, you enjoying it, and you've got some joy from your day-to-day life. Another sort of like meditation mindfulness exercise is the repotting. When you touching the soil is the sensory or leca. When you pick a leftover soil from the roots, because you're transferring into the leca, but it's important to enjoy it. If you're doing that as a day-to-day job, it's not healthy, because that's cause you a stress. And this brings me some sort of conclusion to this video, just like to let you know, guys, that we all different, we all deal with the stress differently. Plants, house plants, gardening is amazing way how you can overcome this stress, how you can calm yourself down. If I come in here into my treatment room, my plants is my refuge, some sort of activity I really enjoy. and that's how it should be. I'm never coming here and saying like, oh my god, I need to water this one needs to repot, this one looks dead. Absolutely not. I always come and try to, equally spend time with the different plants. Some of them are cuttings, some of them are mature plants, and that's what it is about, the enjoyment. Also, like I used to be in the rabbit hole when on the Instagram pop up new plant, and I wanted because that was popular plant, and thought like, oh my god, if I stick it on my Instagram I will look cool. I don't care now. I just put my plants. I really enjoy to see the growth, to elevate plants, and that's what we should do. We should grow plants. We shouldn't buy plants and dispose them just because it's cool plants right now. And I think that sometimes people just lose in this sort of sense, and why they buy in plants, because is that for a fashion, or is that for themselves, for for the mental health and enjoyment. And I hope like you enjoyed this sort of rather a little bit serious video. If you want to talk about, or if you feel depressed or anxious, there is loads of different channels you can go and you can seek help. You have to Google it. If you feel like you want to talk to me, I will be happy to do that. We can connect privately, and I'm happy to listen. Which I hope that this video bring you some sort of insights and make yourself think why you in the plants, why you get into this hobby or this collecting plants, and how does it make you feel. The more plants you get, more joy you've got, or more plants you get, more stressed you are, and then you need to pinpoint the point, which is not easy, but tell yourself, stop, I'm not buying any more plants now. And me, at the moment, I'm in the stage that I don't buy plants. I ordered one for my birthday, which is coming in March, and that's it. I'm growing them and I enjoying them. Right guys, if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, leave me a comment if you wanted to, and I hope that you take care, stay safe, and I will see you here next week. Bye!